So it's not instant anymore. It's not cheap. It's expensive. It's not an economical value. So with Bitcoin Cash, it kind of keeps that initial.
Considering the speed and the transaction charges.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Like considering the speed and the transaction charges, the Bitcoin Cash is more better.
More feasible, more going to be popular for real economic usage, because that's what we want. Eventually, people should be able to use. If you don't not able to use, it's not going to be able to replace the existing fiat system, which is fine as long as there's no counterfeiting. But some things like the federal counterfeiting is something that people don't have any control over. So a parallel system is very much needed. Okay, so I've just posted this links. Let me just see.
And how about TRX? Do you have any plan on that? So even
tell me about TRX as in?
Like TRX is like that is also cheap and that is also instant, and there are many DApps regarding the TRX. So any
what is a TRX?
Like the Tron you're talking about.
Oh, there are many cryptocurrencies like that. Tron is just one of them.
Yes.
Of course, understanding what is the real depth of its adoption, we would like to take a call. But of course, all these Ethereum tokens and Ethereum-based understanding that people have, that they have started a coin, they all have very good features. But the depth in adoption is still less. So that's why the featured ones, like which has maximum depth in adoption, is how we're able to work around. And Ethereum-based coins are not necessarily as easy to use as Bitcoin Cash is.
Okay.
Yeah, just give me a second. I'll be right back. Also, there is some disturbance from your mic. There's quite a bit of sound that's on.
I'll just correct it.
No problem. If you, while you're having any questions and you want to jump into the conversation, you can unmute your mic till the time you keep the mic.
Sure.
Thanks. Hi guys, so I'm just replying to one of the conversations on Meetup. They're also going to be joining us, so I'll just get back to you guys in just a second. Hello, Radhesham. I think you just joined us. Give us a minute. We'll be right with you. Thank you, Radhesham. But I guess so if you want to have any questions, we'll just jump into the conversation. You can unmute your mic and then continue with that. Just give us one more minute. We'll be right there. Hi, guys. Okay, hello everyone. So welcome to the meetup, guys. And today we are going to be talking about how crypto adoption is happening around India. Yes, of course, there's a few things which is specific to India, but of course, crypto is global, so we are open to talking about anything that is global. And also there's something about Bitcoin Cash that we're going to be talking about, simply because Bitcoin Cash is one of those cryptocurrencies, altcoins, that's more the best that's around to help in economic and financial adoption. Jitendra, if you have a question, you can speak up. Otherwise, you can keep your mic on mute. Okay, I think Prajit, you just posted a message on the message group. I wasn't able to get the question, understand the question. If you are able to explain the question a little bit more, maybe you can come on the voice and then explain. I can understand this question. You got it from YouTube, right? Bharat, welcome to the group. Welcome everyone to the meetup group today. Jitender, I think we need to keep your mic on mute if you're not speaking. But I guess yeah, anytime you want to have a question, please just jump in, unmute your mic, and then you can continue. Of course, we have the messaging board also. You guys want to message on it, you can message through the messaging board. So we are using this Google Meet for the first time to try out because Zoom is the other alternative. Of course, we all know what's going on right now. So we're trying out the Meet. Is the first time we're working on that. So yeah, that's us.
Yeah, I'm glad you're trying out Google Meets.
Definitely. We are open to options. We did try Hangout also before. Hangout also has got its little limitations, so we just stuck to this. We're just trying out this today. Good to see you too, Pandey. Okay. Yes. Anyone wants to have a conversation about this meetup today? Please jump in and go ahead. Hi, Bharat. Can you hear me? I think you're the only one who, other than me, who's got a video on. Hi. So great stuff. I think your lighting is a little bit off. It's just the lights coming from behind, so it's just very great. I think it's working fine now. So today's one of the topics is of merchant adoption, right? So how many of you have seen any merchant adoption in cryptocurrency in India? Any merchant adoption at all? Because I have seen a few who did try accepting crypto for their business, not just in Bangalore, but many places in India, including Chandigarh and other places, Delhi. But it was not consistent. We couldn't get anyone to consistently start accepting. I think one of the reasons was nobody was paying people in crypto. So because no one was paying in crypto, it just didn't take off. But you guys, anyone else has an experience about merchant adoption or anybody who's interested in taking it?
You're talking about physical stores or the online one?
That's a good question. Actually, for both physical and online, I couldn't get anyone else, accept crypto. Both physical and online were there, a few of them, but they all dropped out. They're not consistently accepting.
I actually saw a website called Bitrefill. So
Bitrefill?
Yeah. So
I've heard of that Bitrefill. I can't remember. Okay, let me just check.
Yeah, actually it's a good one. Actually what it does is it just accepts crypto and it gives you the gift voucher in India. And they also support recharge.
Okay.
So you can just recharge via Paytm. I think they have vendors such as XOXO gift card. I think they're using
BitXOXO, this is the one?
No, that. Bitrefill. That is a website.
Okay, Bitrefill I got. I had seen this website a long time ago. I think they have changed now. So it's been some time that I had seen it.
Even I tried recharging the Paytm and it was smooth.
Oh yeah? Okay. And so you could get recharge done for your phone, like your wallet got topped up for the that you paid.
Yes, it was wallet top up, not exactly the recharge. And
and these gift cards are based on your Amazon or whichever the gift card is working for.
Yeah. So we pay in crypto and we get the
gift cards. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Actually, we should try this out. Then we should check it out. There are some other places where clear merchant adoption we were looking for. If you guys know about maps.bitcoin.com, that's from bitcoin.com, they have listed all these merchants who are accepting crypto on this page of their maps.bitcoin. Some of them were there, I guess, but when I check now, it's not necessarily very genuine in terms of those merchants, because they don't kind of like exist anymore, or they're not accepting crypto anymore. So they're not like really permanent. I understand totally, because of the way crypto is hardly used by Indians for a reason, because it's difficult to find, so difficult to get in the first place. So they don't easily spend it because there's a lot of other spending options. Okay, just welcome to all of you guys. I think some more new ones joined. Hi, Wasim, you back again. It's nice to see you. So in our messaging board.
Hi, Vikram. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Very good, thanks. Hello, Prajwal. Okay, go ahead, Vikram.
Yeah, I think there is a new question. Game changer, you were asking a question about Bitcoin Cash development meetup. Yes, it is. It's the Bitcoin Cash development and the merchant adoption meetup. We are talking about Bitcoin Cash mostly because Bitcoin Cash is the real cryptocurrency, what Satoshi visioned at the time of writing the white paper, because that's how we need a crypto to move around on the regular economy, because it has to be cheap and it has to be instant to make sure the payments are possible. If you see in India, we have UPI payments, right? When we go to any kind of merchants today, like small shops, vendors, they accept our payments through QR code. It's instant and it's free. And if you're competing with something like that, you have to have a cryptocurrency which is instant and which is really, really cheap. And for that matter, Bitcoin Cash is the best cryptocurrency that's out there to match any kind of merchant payments. Because if you see the merchants, when we are at the shop nowadays in India, when we scan a QR code for Paytm, PhonePe, when we send the payment, it's instant. That guy gets an instant confirmation that he has his money. And if he doesn't have it, we hang around waiting for it right there in the shop. That shouldn't happen. So that's one of the reasons why we chose Bitcoin Cash. And in terms of how technology is, Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin from the day of inception of the first ever blockchain-based cryptocurrency. When the fork happened in the 17, if you see the way Bitcoin is moving on, Bitcoin is going to be moving on like an asset class, not necessarily the peer-to-peer cash system like the way Satoshi wrote. So that's what Bitcoin Cash is about, of course. So we follow it that way. Anything that you want to talk about in terms of the development part? Yes, please go ahead. And also your name, if you want me to address you as Game Changer, there's no sweat. So yeah, in terms of Bitcoin Cash development, of course, we are working on that. Anything in specific that you want to ask about that part of it that you were thinking that's going to be the meetup about? Yes, please go ahead. Of course, the part that I was saying that meetup is also about merchant adoption that we're going to be talking about. I'm very keen on seeing how merchant adoption can take off, especially in India, because it has been some time with the crypto being around in the world. It's like 10 years. And 10 plus, like 12 years. And in terms of the adoption for merchants, very, very little in India. There are its own reasons, but in many other countries like Europe, there are a few specific places. I'll tell you, Ljubljana. It's in Slovakia. It's very highly accepted cryptocurrency. Most merchants allow people to pay in cryptocurrency. Many places in Germany too, in Berlin. Of course, in Australia in Townsville, it's one of these towns where a lot of merchants accept cryptocurrency. Now, the beauty of it is most of these people are now shifting to Bitcoin Cash. Specifically for merchants, they're saying Bitcoin Cash is the best cryptocurrency to accept for merchants. And it's the merchant's choice, right? We cannot, really push them to accept what we want. It's about what they want. So they're accepting Bitcoin Cash more than anything. Clearly says that Bitcoin Cash is the the real peer-to-peer cash system. The rest, of course, Ethereum is also a great currency. I love Ethereum. Ethereum allows us to build a lot of smart contracts on it and things like that. But if you really see, if you hold Ethereum in a small quantity, and if you try and make payments, there's a lot of dust that remains in Ethereum, which is not really usable unless you top it up. So in terms of, and the fees also is a little higher. Ethereum-based tokens that we see, ERC, Strong, many things that's around. They also depend on Ethereum's payment system. So the payment that you make to transfer those coins are a little expensive. If you compare all that, Bitcoin Cash gives us the best possible peer-to-peer cash system. If you have read the white paper and the day of the Genesis block, which is January the 3rd, 2009, the first block had a mention of the big banks in the UK being bailed out by the government. So the very reason that he was saying that there is an issue with the banks in the UK, like the way he saw it, and the system of Bitcoin and the blockchain was started then, was to counter that and have a parallel system. If you don't have competition, the users are going to suffer. That's all of us. Since we're going to have a real competition or real alternative to the financial system that's available in the world, only then the financial system will get better and not necessarily just keep bailing out the corrupt banks like the way it happened. So, of course, the cryptocurrency Bitcoin started off that way. One of the points was to have a real parallel system for people to use. So, you know a parallel system, right? If I meet someone, like say my brother, and I have to pay him $100, and if I have a product worth of $100, say a memory card that goes in my phone, and if even my brother needs the memory card, and my $100 equivalent to the memory card, if I pay him in memory card, if he really needs that, he will accept it. I don't have to pay him the $100. The memory card is worth that amount. He uses it. So the memory card also is a currency. But what are the limitations of the memory card? It's very, very limited to use in terms of it's only to my brother, somebody that I know, somebody who's physically available to me and right next to me who's accepting it. How user-friendly is it for him? Does he take the memory card to pay someone else for $100? No, he wants it to use it for himself. So he can accept that. The limitation is very, very low. So that's the difference that we have in any kind of money that we use in the world. The money has to be really useful, and it has to be, if I have to say any of the word, let's stick to the useful part of it. So if I pay someone with Indian rupees who's outside India, really it's not useful at all. It is useless because that guy now has to hold on to the rupees, find a place where he has to change to dollars, change it back to his own fiat currency, the local that he has to use in his country. And that way, Indian rupees is also not really useful. If you compare all that, crypto becomes a real useful currency once it's globally adopted. If you see, I can pay anyone, anywhere in the world for a small fee. The person doesn't have to be next to me, like I don't have to give anything physical. The second part is it accepted worldwide? Yes. He doesn't have to use it just for its intrinsic value of the cryptocurrency. Say if I send Ethereum, it's not just to read the smart contract that I have embedded in it. It's actually to use Ethereum moving forward. Can you use that? Yes. This is what cryptocurrency does. If you compare even the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin Cash brings us the best form of digital cash payment system. Peer-to-peer cash system. That's how Satoshi intended to start this. So that's what we are trying to follow with Bitcoin Cash.
So Vikram, you said the cryptocurrency Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash has been adopted at many places, right, in Australia or in some other countries that you mentioned. Yeah. So how is the government's response on it, and how is the usage going on as of now?
So the government's response comes after their understanding. That's what we are all waiting for. The last time when I was in Australia, if I want to specifically speak about Australia, I met a few exchange owners in Australia because we were all in a conference. I spoke in that conference. This was at least 3 years ago. So Bitcoin Cash is very new at that time. people who were talking about to me, who were exchange owners, there were two of them specifically. I think there were a few at that time. So with these two people that I spoke to, we had this conference and everything, and we came back. After a year of me being in Australia, I came to know from these people that I had in touch with that the government themselves are calling them, the exchange owners, to have a meeting to understand how they want to regulate cryptocurrency, which is great. I love the way the government took a stand on it to call the exchange owners to explain them what is going on in the scenario, so that they can start accepting, so that they can start learning about it and regulate it accordingly. So that was that. Eventually, that continued, of course, but not in the great depth. I think Australian government recognizes crypto, of course, because they are allowing people to use crypto on exchanges. That's a good thing. In terms of the coin itself, I don't think Bitcoin is as merchant friendly as Bitcoin Cash is in Australia. We're not just talking about the merits of Bitcoin Cash. It's just the way the crypto, merchants who are accepting crypto are going towards it. What I mean by that is that even some vending machines don't allow Bitcoin to be used, but they're allowing Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and a few other coins to be used. One of the reasons is because Bitcoin just happened to show that it takes about 10 plus minutes, of course. If the fees is higher, it is definitely 10 minutes. If the fees is a bit lower, it takes up to 30 to 1 hour for one confirmation. And in between that, the very Bitcoin core developer tried to cheat on BitPay once. So what he did was he made a payment of Bitcoin and he reversed the Bitcoin payment part of it. BitPay instantly recognized that the money did not come, so his product was also not served to him. He did not mention, but he actually claimed with BitPay to say that why his product didn't come, and only after that BitPay told him that yes, he had reversed his Bitcoin payment, because of which he didn't get his product. So those kind of things, because there is a time that it takes to confirm, in that time people can do things that payment cannot go through. So right now it was a core developer of Bitcoin who did this. Of course, he has authority to do that. Not necessarily every developer can do that. But because he did that and there was a possibility of it, a lot of crypto believers who were around the world, especially in Australia that we were talking about, are not happy to accept Bitcoin. They're happy to accept Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is one of the biggest cryptocurrencies that's accepted for merchants right now. Of course, the trading part of it, we are beyond merchants. So in trading part of it, a lot of people, 99% of the people who trade love a currency which has bigger market cap, which is Bitcoin. Because for them, the time taken to receive the Bitcoin is not the bigger question. The bigger question for them is how big they can trade, how quickly they can get the trade happen. Those kind of trading platforms will allow Bitcoin to be the main currency, of course, because you don't necessarily receive it in your personal wallet. That it is not an on-chain transaction. It's an off-chain transaction. That means you bid on an exchange, you buy Bitcoin, your Bitcoin instantly credited to your wallet because it's an off-chain transaction. The company who's running the exchange will just do a number change on your wallet, not necessarily moving the Bitcoin on the blockchain. So that way, Bitcoin is great in the trading part of it. But since we're talking about the merchant adoption in Bitcoin Cash in Australia, it's that's what it is. In terms of governments, yes, governments are watching this. They're not completely regulated it. The idea is to allow people to use, right? Because how India said in the beginning in 2014, January 1st, India issued a letter. This is way back in 14, right? RBI said that we would like to have a wait and watch policy. So they very clearly means that the governments want to learn and understand with time. So they're waiting and watching how people are going to use this and then coming up with the regulation accordingly. So most countries are doing that. In between, they are allowing at different levels. In India, they've allowed cryptocurrency to be used for trading and things, but it's not a payments tool. You cannot make payments and settlements with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency because it's not a legal tender. We know that. Even gold is not a legal tender in India. But in that format, if you see Germany and Australia have allowed people to use crypto for the payments also because they want to have a wait and watch policy now to understand and eventually regulate it accordingly.
So as long as the Bitcoin is pegged to the dollar, right? you will not be able to make those micro transaction of the strength what Bitcoin has. If you are having a purchase of something based on the normal currencies, you will still end up paying the total transaction amount and all that as per what is stipulated by the dollars. So you will eventually wouldn't get the benefit of bitcoins as such.
So you're saying I'm paying in Bitcoin to buy something, but my exchange that I'm looking at, say any product that you buy, is priced in dollars, say $100 equivalent in Bitcoin. We make a payment, because of which you're saying the dollar pegging is an issue.
No, yeah, dollar pegging is a bigger issue. Yeah, we will come to that later. But from a transaction perspective, what is the strength of Bitcoin is that you can go to a very smallest denominator, right? Very small transaction fees and all that. But eventually, if I use Bitcoins in the current system, I will anyway paying the shipping amount that is equivalent to dollars. I won't get any benefit using the Bitcoins at that place. You get my point?
Yes, I understand. So by paying Bitcoin, you get a benefit if you use things like purse.io. Purse.io allows you to buy a lot of vouchers for cheaper than what its face value is. Say in Amazon, you want to buy something worth of $100. You buy that Amazon worth $100 worth of vouchers on Purse.io. So on Purse.io, you're paying in Bitcoin, you're buying that voucher. You may buy it for $80 only, or $90. So you still save about $10 to $15 when you use that voucher and actually buy the product on Amazon. Because Amazon will just ship it to you because you paid in a $100 voucher. That $100 voucher, you got it for cheaper on Amazon.io because you paid in Bitcoin. So that is a straight away useful piece of information for paying in Bitcoin, because you got a product for cheaper. But what I'm talking about is merchants directly accepting Bitcoin. Would it be feasible for them to wait for the amount of time it takes to receive Bitcoin to them? Even when somebody pays in Bitcoin, he pays a higher fee to move that Bitcoin from his wallet to the merchant's wallet, because it's an on-chain transaction. That's beyond your paying of dollars, because dollar is just a value to show the product's value in that particular country. Now, dollar is not used in India. We don't necessarily use dollar for a global pegging of products. It is pegged for international trade, of course, but not specifically into any specific country. Like in India, we don't price any of our product in dollar. We price them in Indian rupee, and Bitcoin also, crypto also has an Indian rupee equivalent. So equivalent to Indian rupee, there's X amount of price, like 7 lakh rupees. We can divide that and pay in Indian rupee. Dollar does not even have to come into the picture. So it is right now there as a global reserve currency for country to make transactions, because there has to be a central bank which has to clear these, like how Indian central bank clears all the Indian transactions. Global transactions are cleared by the central bank, which follows dollars only. That is as a different thing. For cryptocurrency, I think we can, local region wise, we can use any dollar, any denomination in fiat. It is compared to, and you can exchange it to that particular currency. See, the idea is now, if you don't pay with Bitcoin in that particular region, you can pay with Ethereum or in Bitcoin Cash also. And we are just comparing between each cryptocurrency, how better each is than the other. Like Bitcoin Cash is definitely better than Bitcoin in making local payments with small amounts. Bitcoin makes it difficult because for a small amount of, say, $10, you'll be paying a fee of $5 or $10, which is not really worth it. I'm talking about real on-chain transactions.
Okay. So how is the adoption in India now? As you said, in Australia, at least government had come for 3 years back.
Yeah.
Right. So is there any initiative here in the local ecosystem for them to start? And India being one of the major IT hubs, they have to play a major role in it, right? So any companies that come forward with anything of this sort?
No, actually, nothing serious is coming forward. If you see in India, the adoption of crypto is very big for trading. So there are big exchanges allowing people to spend up to 50 lakh rupees, say 50 lakh rupees worth of INR. I can deposit in an exchange per day, per person, withdraw that amount, trade that amount of value. So the trading is big. Merchant adoption is not. The merchant adoption, like I said, because we have Paytm, you need to go to a shop if you want to make $100 worth of payment. You use Paytm instantly because it's cheaper, it's free, it's instant, and the easiness of paying via wallets is easy for us. We have it ready on our phones. Now the alternative to that is cryptocurrency, right? Any cryptocurrency for that matter. First of all, to gain that cryptocurrency for an Indian person is a little hard. So he's storing it, he's saving it for a future, not necessarily going to use it for payments. That's what the kind of feeling that I've got from this time of few years that people are trying to pay. Nobody is paying with cryptocurrency because they find it first of all, they find it hard to buy. They just want to hold on to it. They expecting a price rise, so because of that also they hold on to it. They really don't use payments with crypto. But if you see what the specific three places that I've talked about, Ljubljana in Slovakia, then you have Berlin in Germany, and you have you have Australia, Townsville. So these places, they're just regular outsiders. They're like Europeans and Australians. They do not have a payment system like the way UPI is there for Indians, because they don't have an alternative payment system. To make an instant payment like the way we are talking about, they are using Bitcoin Cash there. That's the little difference that's around. In India, of course, the adoption is big, but according to the adoption of your trading only, government is probably looking at it to regulate it that way. But if you see today, it is open. It's open to trade. All we have to do is make sure we pay the trading fees or the trading what do you call income that you make. You pay as your income tax. Or if you hold on for a longer time and then you trade and then you get capital gains, then you pay capital gains tax. That way, those two are regulated already. Payments itself may not be yet regulated, but we'll have to give them some time. It actually takes a long time for crypto to be understood for people. If you're not looking at that direction and not researching, you really don't get to understand it as quickly as people think. So because of that, it's taking its own time. I guess the first time they regulated was in 2014, January 1st. Like I said, they said wait and watch policy. From then till now, it is kind of continuing still as wait and watch policy. We'll hope for the best from our regulators to see how quickly they'll understand and regulate it. The worst part is the most regulation news that's coming in. They're always talking about banning it. Because why do they talk about banning it? Do they print that alternative to that crypto? No, they're not. But they still talk about banning it. The reason they're talking about banning it is because of lack of knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, you fear something which is unknown. That's what they say, right? You fear the unknown. It's unknown. They don't have the knowledge on it. That's why they always talk about, oh, we're going to ban it. I hope that answered. Anyway, we'll jump in if you have more questions on it. I was just trying to get the message board. So what do you think about that, Wasim, and the answer to that? Also, actually, I wanted to talk to you about the alternative China is trying to bring in.
Yeah, the basic problem, as you said, is that people who are investing in Bitcoins, nobody is actually buying it for adoption. It is only an investment, one.
Yeah.
And second, they have heard a lot of stories before even they understand it, that it is something illegal, it is something risky, and we should not enter into it, right? And the third one is that they think it's something very complex. It's not for a common man. They're scared to venture into it because we don't have that kind of clear-cut gateways like how the actual accounts work. You see an account number or phone number and you send money versus you put up a hash number of such big thing. It looks a little scary for people, right? So adoption at that front for consumers and adoption for the traders or the merchants, because it is being tagged as illegal by the government. They are not sure what will come up. They don't want to adopt it. Right? So until these things clear up, I don't see any hope in India that is going to pick up anytime soon. And this is going to be a long time because a lot of people in India are not very aware of these things, right? So teaching them and bringing that up and fighting these lobbies, it's a long way.
Well, definitely it's a long process for India, but may not be the same for the Western world. In India, it definitely will be long because there is really no need for cryptocurrency in India. When you talk about cryptocurrency, they're like, why do I really need it? Well, of course, if somebody is, like you said, in the trading side of it as or buying it for an investment part of it as an asset, they love it because whatever they understand a little bit is good enough for them because they sometimes store it on an exchange, which just makes it easy for you to store. Don't have to learn about crypto. Those things are very much true about Indian scenario. But Western scenario is different. In West, the banks have bigger control, so they do not provide easier payment systems for their own people. So crypto comes in and bridges that gap. And eventually, if the whole globe uses it and they understand it better, you know how Indians eventually, Indian regulators will do that, right? They'll just follow. They don't have to then do much of research of their own. And then they'll say, oh, the West, let's say USA, oh, the US has adopted cryptocurrency as a payment tool also. We can also do it. Why should we do it? In that scenario, we will come in. But I guess, like you said, there is no real need for it. So they've not pushed into that side of the knowledge base and understanding. So they're not brought in that regulation yet. With weight is what we can see some changes. Changes first to the Western world and then maybe coming into India. Even internet, if you see, we got it late. We still make best use of it, even though we got it late. If you see the UPI part of it is riding on the base of the internet to start with. Then it combines all the banks together and makes them on one platform. Puts the real needy people who really need an instant and quick and easy payments comes first, because if somebody is depending on UPI, he cannot depend on UPI for a bigger gain. It's only for 1 lakh rupees per day per person, maximum 10 transactions per day per person. Those kind of limitations is great to have for an entry person, not for a real rich person. So that way, if you see banks and the system in India is very well regulated, very well managed compared to the Western world. Western world is giving more options to the rich people only, not necessarily the real needy and the frontline people who are working on a small scale systems. We'll wait and see. Let's see how quickly and how these things get adopted globally, and then how India will look into that. But whatever you said is totally right. Totally right. Those kind of things is actually what is making delaying Indian adoption. Understanding, fear, and the real need. There is no real need. So those kind of things, you put it out right. I'm sure you see that in your own IT space that you are working in. Sorry, say something.
Many people who have actually bought bitcoins is only for investment. There's nobody who wants to actually look forward to make it as a, they don't even believe that it can be an alternative system that can be used online as a currency itself.
No, true. But I guess you're the best example. You use this as a currency because you had global.
That's right.
But it's the need. When you have it, and then you come across a small need. You've been a global person. You've traveled many countries. You've been in many countries. You worked there. You live there. So you have a small need for making instant and quick transactions without any hassles of filling up paperwork in the bank to send $10. What is the real need? But then crypto suddenly gave you that instant access. I guess that's how, at least by people getting into an asset system, like which once they hold it as an asset, especially in their own wallets, then of course the understanding is bigger. Then there is a small need, because what kind of needs come up for international payments? A small one, a friend of yours, small software that you're trying to buy, or just trying to settle for $10 worth of some small payment. Then you really use it. As soon as you use it once, you have a better understanding of it. It's actually the real use cases. If you do it yourself, then you will never forget it. One of the reasons why we at InstaCrypto are pushing to get people to get their own wallets, use their own wallets, bring in your wallet currency, and then move your crypto from your wallet. When you receive your crypto also, you bring in your wallet, and then even if they bring in their exchange wallet address, but they're doing some work beyond their exchange, gives them a little bit of understanding and learning, a possibility there. So all these things in mind is why InstaCrypto is alive today. Otherwise, I already have. If you know, my first exchange was already built on making sure that people get to use crypto, but the limitations are there in terms of them understanding. It's an exchange. Exchange gives you instant wallet. You don't even know how the wallet works, how the on-chain transactions work. So those kind of things to bring on board to people is what InstaCrypto is trying to do. Also, alongside, it's giving you an instant transactions. Those kind of things, once they experience it, they'll love it. Tomorrow, when they want an instant crypto or vice versa, instant fiat for their crypto, when they try in other exchanges, they will know, okay, that is a delayed process. InstaCrypto gives us instant, because that's the beauty of cryptocurrency, right? Globally, you need something like UPI payments system. So that's the idea. I think. Let's take this question. How much safe crypto is? Mr. Radhesham Pandey asked the question. The safety of crypto is actually very high. If that a small understanding of yours is needed to hold your crypto in the safest way. First of all, when you download a free wallet to store your crypto, the free wallets come with its own, seed phrase, that's called. So that means that wallet is not controlled by the guy who coded the wallet or developed the wallet. The wallet is now free to use for anybody. Whoever stores the private seed phrase of that particular wallet that you downloaded, you have full control of that crypto. Why do I say that? Is because the wallet is now stored on your phone, right? Your phone can be lost or stolen. One of those things can happen. But when that happens, your crypto should not get lost or stolen. So that's why you write down your seed phrase and you keep it with you. And if you lose your phone, you just have to enter that seed phrase in a new phone and you can retrieve your crypto back. And also, when you use your crypto on your own phone, you try and keep some kind of security of login passcode, or your fingerprint allows you to send that crypto out. Maybe that you can view, but you cannot use the crypto. So if you lost your phone, somebody else gets hold of your phone, they should not be able to spend your cryptocurrencies. So they should not be able to move that crypto from that wallet. So those things are possible today. Most wallets give you that kind of feature. Some wallets, which is exchange related wallet, my first exchange, UnoCoin, that I started in 2013, back in 13, gives you a wallet, but it does not give you a passphrase for that, so that you don't control that wallet, exchange controls that wallet. That's the most of the exchanges do. The reason they have to keep in control of your crypto in exchange, because the exchange allows you to trade for fiat. So when you're trading for fiat, if you don't hold crypto in your own exchange, then the exchange cannot allow you to trade. So those kind of limitations is there with the exchange. But of course, crypto is not limited to that. Crypto is limited to using in many other places for payments, settlements, value transfer, global. When you do all that, you need your own wallet, and then the best way is to get a free wallet, get a decentralized and non-custodial wallets. Zapit is a very good example. Zapit wallet is what we've partnered with at InstaCrypto for Bitcoin Cash. Zapit wallets allow you to hold your own private keys for that and your passphrase for that. So it's a non-custodial wallet. So in those formats, crypto is the most safest. Crypto allows you to be a global person, be a global player in your business, in your commerce. The safety of your crypto comes with your understanding of your crypto. It's period. Because gold is also a great asset, great value holder and intrinsic value tool. Gold has been the reserve product of the world, asset class of the world. But still, if you don't know about gold, how are you going to safeguard it? It's the safety of gold is the knowledge that you have. The reason with gold people don't ask these questions because we've seen it from our birth. So we take gold for granted and we know already how safe it is because your parents, your folks, your people around you have shown you without even asking. With crypto, because it's new, these things you can find it online. How safe can you get with crypto? I may not be giving you the full clear picture. You may find it more better answers for it online. But yeah, of course, if you look for answers, you need somebody to explain you some part of it which you don't understand. Those are the things you come and ask your questions here. Till that time, I think best for you is to do your own research. Only when you do your own research, the little bit of 10% that you don't understand, you can ask somebody in person and it'll clear your doubts. I hope I've answered your question, Pandey. You can just message here if you want a little bit more clarification on anything specific. And yeah, anybody else wants to jump in and continue this conversation about explaining safety of crypto and things like that, please jump in. So Game Changer has a question. I don't know if you're still there, but of course, like I mentioned before, Google Meet is the first time that we've used here, and I'm also still learning. I just downloaded it and everything because we didn't want to get onto Zoom and Zoom's limitations. Yes. So in terms of another question that we have, isn't this a problem if one pays another one BTC worth 100 rupees? Huh? Hypothetically, okay. And the next to the one BTC dips to 50 rupees, isn't that man going in loss? Okay, that's a very specific question to merchant adoption, of course. That's exactly how merchant adoption also may feel, because crypto is very volatile right now. Crypto loses up to 30% of its value in a day. Here we have giving an example hypothetically of 50% dropping. It may happen, it did happen in the past, it may happen in the future also. So how does a merchant or anyone who is receiving crypto secure himself for the value that he is given on the product for? So his product was worth 100 rupees. He gave out that 100 rupees is equal to 1 BTC today. That's what we are talking about hypothetically. So if 1 BTC was received by him, he needs his 100 rupees, right? That depends on the merchant how he wants to store his crypto. Does he want to store his crypto, or does he want to club with an exchange and then change it to 100 rupees and receives his 100 rupees instantly? That's where InstaCrypto also comes into play. We have set up a merchant gateway for people to use as merchants. So as a merchant, if I'm receiving one Bitcoin for my 100 rupees, if I understand crypto a little bit, I would like to hold it in Bitcoin. The reason I'd like to hold it in Bitcoin, because everybody likes to gamble a little bit, right? So the reason I'm holding it in Bitcoin, because I may think that I can get 110 rupees tomorrow, not just it dropping in value, it may gain in value also. So if I know about crypto, I'll hold it in crypto and get 110 rupees tomorrow. But if I do not know about crypto and I did not want to take the chance of it losing its value and dropping the price tomorrow, what can I do? I can link with InstaCrypto. InstaCrypto will receive that one Bitcoin instead of you receiving it in your own wallet, and InstaCrypto, as soon as it receives that one Bitcoin on your behalf of that exchange, of that merchant, we will credit that 100 rupees instantly to your bank account, so that you do not lose any value for your Bitcoin. You use Bitcoin as your payment gateway, payment method. Your users, your merchants came, your people who are going to use you as a merchant came and paid you in crypto, but that crypto was instantly changed by InstaCrypto as an exchange. You will get your 100 rupees. So that's then understood completely, that you do not lose any value. Your 100 rupees worth of product that you sold, you receive your 100 rupees in your bank account. Tomorrow, of course, if you understand Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, you want to take the chance of the fluctuation of its price, you can start managing your own crypto. Till that time, we give you the bridge to understand, learn, and then tomorrow also you don't want to take a risk. Say you want to take risk, but you want to take risk of only 10% of the crypto that you receive. The remaining 90%, you want to just change it to fiat and get your fiat, because that's your worth of your product, right, that you sold in local fiat. So you plug to InstaCrypto. With InstaCrypto, we are even giving you the options of storing your own crypto by yourself, that you don't even want to send it to InstaCrypto. That way you can quickly, instantly change that with the features that we provided you with our app. Of course, that app is available on Play Store, but the Play Store app is limited to buy and sell and remit only today. The update is ready with us for Merchant Gateway. We're going to send that update very soon, within a week or 10 days. We're still testing on that. But yes, that's the point that we've already ready. The point is that you can instantly change crypto to fiat so that you don't experience any loss of fiat in value. And otherwise also we give you that easy option to switch between the wallets, so that you can store your crypto within by yourself. We may not give you the options directly on the wallet, but we have partner wallets along with us who you can download and then store that crypto in your own wallet to basically learn about it, to see how it fluctuates for the future. Yes, it's a great question. The man will not go into loss, because if he's starting to understand crypto, to take crypto as his payment, then he knows that an exchange is also available that he can want to change crypto to rupees, which is fiat, instantly. With that little bit of learning, tomorrow if he wants to take a risk holding crypto, because holding crypto is not just a risk, it's the way of getting into newer economy. It's the parallel economy, it's a crypto economy. You have to secure yourself with a parallel economy, which is a crypto economy, because the real fiat economy is going into hyperinflation. We already know that. How do we know that? Because if you see, a lot of products are actually becoming expensive. That is what is hyperinflation is. May not be as much in your local scenarios, but globally, yes, fiat system is putting in people into hyperinflation. So, but if you take on crypto is actually saving the day by making sure that whatever crypto that you hold is gaining into value. That you don't have to even depend on some banks, like the way we put money in banks and waiting for its small interest that they give you on your savings account. That actually doesn't cut the deal that the inflation does. The inflation is much higher than what the interest that you get on the banks. But with crypto, what happens is there is pain in terms of X. Recently, I met with one of these guys who was into hedge funds. He was hedging a lot of rich people's money. And he was telling me that from the day till today, cryptocurrency, which is Bitcoin in specific, has gone up to like 50,000x. So when you say 50,000x, that's a lot of money gained into Bitcoin from the day of inception. So 12 years. If you keep 12 years of savings in a bank, you may get 4x. Why do I say 4x? Because about 6 to 7 years, you get 1x. So if you keep 100 rupees, you get 200 in 6 years, and that 200 becomes 400 in the next 6 years. So you get only 4x. Cryptocurrency gives you a lot more than that. So in a way, you don't really go on a loss. In a temporary basis, you may feel that there is a loss, but in a long term, that's why there is a word called hodl that's recently, you started being using because of cryptocurrency. Hodl allows you to understand that crypto will give you better returns in future than any other fiat system. So that was that. Just wanted to ask Prajwal. Prajwal, is there any more people trying to get questions on YouTube? If you have any, please just add them here, and I can speak about that. So I have a message on the side here. So let me see if there's worth talking about. So there's another group who wants to join, so they're also part of it. So hey, yeah, that was the answer. I hope game changer. I guess you are here. So the other person, I don't see him here. But I hope you got your answer satisfactory. Just jump in, leave us another message, or if you're interested in understanding a little bit more, I can speak. I usually get extended my conversation into a lot of other things also. They all are intertwined in terms of finance and everything. But if it's not specific to your question, if you're not satisfied enough, jump in. You're welcome, man. Okay, so there is another question that's here, which is the SLP. How different is to BCH? I can take that one part at a time so that it's easy for people also to understand, because a lot of people are beginners. So SLP and BCH is in one question. If you see, how is SLP different to BCH? SLP is a token that rides on BCH blockchain. So what do we compare it with? I can compare it with an ERC20 token. So an ERC20 token, those who know, it rides on Ethereum blockchain. So all the ERC20 tokens are made from the Ethereum token, Ethereum coin. Ethereum blockchain allows you. So yeah, Romit is another person who's expert in this SLP. So he just joined us. So once I finish, probably he will also have his own sites to talk about it. So I was comparing SLP and BCH to ERC20 tokens. I shouldn't say ERC20 because ERC20 is a type of ERCs. ERC 721 is also another type. There are many others, which is ERC20, like ERC20. So ERC tokens are riding on Ethereum blockchain. Similarly, SLP tokens ride on the BCH Bitcoin Cash blockchain. So Bitcoin Cash blockchain is a blockchain, freestanding blockchain. If you see any SLP token, very few or probably just one SLP token that is there that is riding on its own blockchain. Why do people don't ride on its own blockchain? Because if you're trying to ride on your own blockchain, you need to get a lot of supporters around the world with hardware to come in and download your particular your protocol, run that protocol on their machines, and then support your coin. So that's a little tedious and long process. So that's why ERC20 tokens became popular. ERC20 tokens went riding on Ethereum. So people did not have to bring in their own hardware. Ethereum hardware was good enough. If you are mining Ethereum blockchain, you can start using ERC tokens. So similarly, SLP came along. SLP made it even simpler, made it even more better. It's got some features which is even better than ERC that I can explain it to you in a bit of time. With SLP, what happens is it rides on the BCH blockchain. So the BCH blockchain is a standalone. It's running on ASIC computers, ASIC chips. They support the whole Bitcoin Cash protocol. Once they're supporting Bitcoin Cash protocol, all SLP tokens are getting supported on the same protocol. So that way, when you use SLP, the way you pay a fee when you're using SLP is you have to pay a fee with BCH. Similarly with ERC, when you use ERC, you're paying fees with Ethereum. In SLP, you're paying with BCH. And the difference, one of the major difference that I'd like to say now with ERC to SLP, SLP takes minimal fee like how BCH takes. In Indian rupee, it's close to 5 paise. In cents, it is less than 1 cent. Basically, you can do 20 transactions in 1 cent. US dollar cents. So that way it is really, really cheap. But if you see ERC20 rides on Ethereum, Ethereum fees is higher. So every time when you make an ERC token transfer, you have to pay an Ethereum fee, and Ethereum fees are higher. They go up to like 20 cents to 50 cents. That's the difference. You can make probably like 500 transactions per SAP transactions for every ERC transaction. So that's how it is. And what is different between SLP and BCH? BCH is the mother token. SLP is your child on top of it. So BCH is your real Bitcoin that has been there since 2009, like the way Satoshi wrote, and we're following it. The same protocol we've been doing it since 2009. SLP is very new. SLPs have started just a year ago, and SLPs ride on Bitcoin Cash. What are the applications of SLP token? There are a few. One of them is like how you can have company shares on SLP. It works fucking beautiful. Like you can share, make a company shares, say up to 1 lakh shares or 100 million shares, 10 million shares. You make the shares according to your SLP. You divide the shares to people according to how you would like to divide your company shares. The dividends can be sent via these tokens. Depending on how many tokens of SLP you're holding, you'll get the same kind of dividends. So dividend system is set up very smoothly. Shares, how do we market those shares or sell and buy those shares in today's world of any company? You have to get them listed on your BSE and NSE and all those places, and then get them regulated, get them bought and sold through broker, and through all of that jazz is fixed in SLP. SLPs can be directly sent and received from users. You won't have to depend on any third party or brokers in between to do your transfer. I'm just talking about one part of the SLP usage, that is as a company shares. The sending and receiving also is very cheap, unlike the stock market stocks, which is expensive to move around. In SLP, it is, like I said, it takes about 4 to 5 paisa for one transaction, and you can send and receive your SLPs so smooth and easily. There are many other applications also, of course. I would give a chance to, Romit. Romit has been here. Romit is one of the SLP developers. His product, which is Zapit Wallet, is building many features for SLP tokens. So, Romit, if you are hearing me, you can take this question and continue. I would also like to listen to more insights about what's the new applications that we can use with SLP tokens.
Yeah, sure. Basically SLP tokens can be used for anything that's representing a digital asset, right? As you said, it can be stocks of a company, it can be a coupon code, it can be gifts like digital gifts. Recently, one of the newest things in SLP is that tokens can actually be mined, just like how Bitcoin and Ethereum can be mined. Yeah, so they basically created a protocol where you can mine SLP tokens.
Wow. I did
yeah,
hear about that. What's that Mist coin? Is
Yes,
that the one?
Mist coin. It's called Mist coin. Anybody can start now. You can actually mine with CPU. It doesn't really require ASICs for SLP mining. Yeah, there are a lot of people who have started to mine it. People are excited about it because I don't know whether a lot of tokens can be mined.
I guess by putting them into mining, you're limiting your usage. If they are happy to do that and limiting your like acceptance around the world, because if your mining is without mining SLP is as smooth as it is already, like it's riding on VCH blockchain, right? So I really don't think it needs mining, but if you were making it, then you should make sure that you are marketing it enough. You have enough followers. You have enough hardware to be installed behind it. Those people are being, being there for you all the time. They don't switch their mining to something else and continue to mine your coin. Then you get that constant support. If you have that kind of infrastructure, I think you should go for it.
Yeah, but yeah, so there are a lot of other things, right? For example, gaming assets. Any kind of gaming assets can be represented in SLP. So I heard you mention about ERC20 and ERC721, I guess. So there are different kinds of tokens in Ethereum. Similar to that, even in SLP, there are different kinds of tokens. Of course, a regular token would be, like ERC20. It's called token type 1. But there's something called as NFT as well, which is non-fungible tokens. Non-fungible tokens basically means every single token is unique, right? For example, if you have, let's say, 0.01 BCH or BTC or ETH, if I have 0.01 ETH, they're literally the same, right?
Yes.
We can exchange it and stuff. They have the same properties. But ERC721 on Ethereum, they are not like that. Right, each token has its own unique identifier. Each one of them are different. So similar to that, even on SLP, the non-fungible tokens have that similar property. So yeah, recently there is a new game coming up actually that uses these NFT tokens using SLP. It's called Enter the Sphere, I guess. You can go to enter-the-sphere.com. I think that's the website. I'm not sure. I might find the link and post it here. Yeah, and somebody actually asked in the chat how hard it is for to start Bitcoin or Ethereum tokens.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't exactly know what that means, but if you're asking like how hard is it to like create a token, then on Ethereum you will have to learn a programming language called Solidity, and then you'll have to learn how to basically build a token. But on Bitcoin Cash, if you want to create SLP token, you don't even need to know. You don't even need to have programming language. It takes like maybe a minute. If you have BCH, it takes less than a minute to create a token. You can go to mint.bitcoin.com, which is mint.bitcoin.com. Yeah, they have a really good website there where it's very easy to create a token. You just have to enter a token name, token the symbol. You may want to put your like website as well. Yeah, if you enter all those things, I think they allow you to add a token logo as well now. So yeah, you just add that and you got your token ready.
Anyway, this guy is asking about start on Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin is allowing any tokens yet. There is no development
Bitcoin
on that.
specifically does not want to allow tokens, so that's why all the token projects have shifted to other coins.
So on Ethereum, it's possible. It is a little bit harder, but on Bitcoin, it's definitely hard. There is the core development team, or there is no update on any kind of tokens being released on Bitcoin. But of course, yes, Bitcoin Cash is the way forward. The Bitcoin Cash allows you to do all that.
Yeah, another thing is recently Ethereum's fees are going too high. Like I think it's following the footsteps of Bitcoin. And I've been looking at a lot of companies that are looking into SLP now, like the companies that have been on Ethereum, they're starting to consider switching to Bitcoin Cash. I think recently USDT started minting the USDT tokens on SLP as well because of the fees and stuff. So
Yeah, USD hedge, isn't it?
No, USDH is a completely different company. It's a different token. But USDT, the one that started as on Bitcoin, on only,
Yeah.
and then they shifted to ERC20 because of fees. Now they're shifting to SLP because of the fees. I guess I'm not sure. So of course the majority is still on Ethereum, but if the fees continue to get higher, I think they will also shift to.
Surely, I think the fees will go higher if you see next year bull run. It's inevitable. When the bull run happens, everybody wants to transact. There is a limited space. The fees has to go high. That's when you want to get on to Bitcoin Cash SLP because the more people come on to SLP, it is because we love SLP, we love Bitcoin Cash. The more economy wants to be part of the SLP tokens and Bitcoin Cash protocol, the better it is because then you have bigger economy, using a cheaper fee paid cryptocurrency to make sure the ends are met instantly, quickly, with less hassle, less fee. That's what we want. I'm just waiting for this bull run to start and then get all these predictions that I'm sitting and making here, and we hear about all this in the meetups to see really what happens.
So there's a fun fact about missed coin, by the way. Do you know how Satoshi added a text in the first ever block that was mined about
Yes.
the bailout?
Yes.
The chancellor of the brink of the bailout.
Yeah.
Just like that, on for missed coin, they added a text similar to that, which is a zero hedge article. It says 13 June 2020, central banks bailed out markets to avoid trillions in pension losses.
Dude, I know, right?
Very
So
similar
when-
to Bitcoin's creation.
For those who really understand financial terms, when Bitcoin started in 2009, Satoshi embedded a message in the block, in the very first Genesis block, saying the message was same as what the headlines in London newspaper of Times came in, saying the mayor is at the brink of bailing out the banks. So when he talked about bailing out the banks at that time, this was the third time that he has seen it. In 1989, 99, and 2008, this was the third bailout the banks were getting. What does that mean? The banks were corrupt. They don't make any profit. They should be bankrupt. But instead, the government gave money, lots of money, to these banks to continue to stay alive. So that's the message he put in the very first block of the Bitcoin in 2009. If you understand then, the reason he made this message on the block, because it was very significant that the amounts that these guys were receiving in billions, it was a lot of money. They shouldn't have got this kind of money because that inflates their fiat very highly. People lose their wealth, their purchasing power in their money that they're holding in their bank accounts, but still government went ahead and did this. So he's making a point here to put that message in the block. But what happened to it? Because of the lacking knowledge of finance around the world, it really didn't make any change in terms of these banks. The banks continue to get more bailouts this time's crisis. And this time's crisis, if you see, it's going to trillions, as if it is nothing. Like they added another 3 more zeros to billion to a trillion. They're bailing themselves out in trillions now. They're doing it in terms of every month close to $2 trillion. That actually means a lot of inflation around the world. We will only see this in the next couple of years. Till that time, it is just the numbers that has been happened. And thanks to this guy, at least he made another point on that in the block. I did not know about that, Ramit.
Yeah, he's also the anonymous name is also a Japanese name. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Well, I don't know why it is Japanese both the times, but there is a certain side to it because Japanese banks are the first ones to start this quantitative easing, they call it.
Did I? Not able to see you.
Bailing out themselves. So I think that maybe the Japanese are the ones who get to understand that first. They have better understanding in finance, I guess. That's why they're constantly making this point to say that these big corrupt banks around the world are pushing us, sidelining us. All those who are having savings per se that we're waiting on that. Our savings interest that we get is peanuts compared to the inflation that it's creating by doing quantitative easing. Anyway, thanks for that insight, Romit. But I would like you to introduce us your wallet also, Zapit.io. It's a great wallet. I love it. I use it. It helps understand the beauty of PC hedge and the real economic uh, positives that it brings in, the merits that it brings in. You've been adding a lot of other features also for SLP in that. You're able to swap SLPs on your wallet. Do explain a little bit more about your wallet.
Yeah, sure. I think it's a great segue to the next question that was asked by Miss Chai TV, which is some coins allow staking option, which will be a good option for merchants to hold coins, just like BharatPay offers you interest for holding. Actually, I did not know that about the BharatPay one. But yeah, I'm the founder of Zapit.io, which is a Bitcoin Cash wallet with SLP tokens as well. It has peer-to-peer non-custodial services. So the wallet itself is non-custodial, but also our services, the way we have built our services, also non-custodial. So you can top up your wallet, you can withdraw back your funds, you can also make international money transfers, which is remittance, right? They are all powered by a decentralized escrow. So anybody who's interacting with any other user is actually safe in a way. We don't control your funds anytime. But yeah, we introduced the UPI payments feature a few updates back, which basically allows you to make normal UPI payments, and for every single transaction that you make, you get SLP tokens as a reward. It's a random SLP token. We have something called featured tokens. So usually regular wallets just have all the tokens. It's a similar way even in Bitcoin Cash SLP wallets. But we are doing something different where we are actually verifying tokens, and we're just we're just making sure that token projects actually have a good project that's back behind it. Just like InstaCrypto is one of them. We have the INC token. We also have USD Hedge. It's similar to USDT, but they're fully backed. It's a stable coin basically. And we also have Renewable Cash, which is a UK-based energy rewards company. So they reward if you are producing or using renewable energies. So it's a random reward that we get. And yeah, some features are still not public, but we are introducing some new features that will go live.
Well, I have tried your UPI feature. It's amazing. It's even cutting short the time taken less than even Paytm and PhonePe. The steps are even easier on through Zapit.io. You just have to put in the address and then amount, and then that's it. You're ready to send UPI payments. And with Zapit, I think you're giving us even some SAP tokens as rewards for every transaction. That's amazing. I love that UPI part of it. But I guess the UPI part of it is just one small feature in that. There's many other for specific for SAP that's available on Zapit.io. Do leave your
I can leave the app
link
down.
yes, app download link here. And also to all of you guys, whoever is here, do leave your SLP address here. We will forward some INC and Zapit tokens to your SLP address so that you can, try out our tokens. Whoever leaves your SLP address here, we will send 500 INC, and we'll see whatever the number of Zapit tokens we want to send across. About Nishchay's question, that's a pretty good question.
I actually forgot. We also have staking in Zapit.
Exactly. I was going to say
for
that.
Zap, I totally forgot about that. So for right now for Zapt, which is our own token, which is Zapit's token, it is called Zapt. We have staking. We offer about 1% staking. So right now it's like manual staking, but we are working on like proper scripts where you can lock up your funds, and it can be used for economic purposes, and you basically generate revenue through that. So we're working on that, and we are ready to offer the same for other tokens as well. We are in talks with token projects to get this live. So I have dropped the download link. I think another question came in, which is SAP address. No, it's actually SLP address. So SLP address it's your token address, right? So if you download the wallet that we just posted, the link is just posted. If you go to the tokens section in services, hit on any of the tokens, go to receive, you will actually you can see a SLP token address there. You can just copy that and paste it here to receive something. So SLP address is similar to any other crypto address. So if you post a Bitcoin address, somebody can send you Bitcoin. If you post Bitcoin Cash address, somebody can send you Bitcoin Cash. Similar to that, if you want SLP tokens, you'll have to post your SLP address. So this here just posted address. I'm sending you some tokens.
Yeah, we'll just send across that to the SLP address. Anybody else wants to add that SLP token address, please do that.
Maybe for next
Meantime-
time we can have the sweep feature that we are going to launch soon.
Yes, we have the
Maybe we
QR
can just
code shown,
post-
right?
Yeah. So maybe next time
Totally.
we can do that. Yeah.
Totally. So in between, let me just address the other point of it in the question here. Is someone's allow staking. You really don't need staking for cryptocurrency. If you just hold your staking, you have to hold it for a year or two, depending of if they have a time lock system in that. You will be holding it for that long. But instead also, any kind of cryptocurrency always has to gain in value. Why does crypto gains in value and others will not? Because crypto adoption is still less. The more the adoption, the more the value increases. So by just holding any of your cryptocurrency, it's called HODL, we're already talking about it. So you HODL your cryptocurrency, that itself will gain in value. You really don't need to get any kind of staking interest on that, on top of that. That's the beauty of cryptocurrency, and that's been happening already. So we've seen it from the last 12 years. Like Bharat Pay offers you interest for holding INR. That I did not know. I'm sure that's available. Maybe because the Bharat Pay app kind of like eventually keeps your money in their own account. Since you're parking your money in their account, just like any other savings account, they give you a small interest on top of that, of course. I did not know that, but we will definitely look into that a little bit more. But yeah, staking is what is the older system, like the banks and the existing financial system is what makes you keep the money with them to give you some interest. That interest that you get is much lesser compared to the inflation that you will experience in the next 1 year or 2 years. How much ever that interest you got is not necessarily covering for that inflation that happens. So your staking is not necessarily getting you a great deal out of it. You may get a little bit of number change in your rupees that you have a little bit more now, but does it actually help you in the future of the inflation that is created by the financial system? No, that's not covering. That's been happening since quite some time. Our interests are not necessarily covering the inflation that's happening. So crypto is a parallel system. It's not at all compared to your existing finance. So in the crypto system, you really don't have to worry about is the staking available or interest being given out or not on that or per se. Just when you're on the crypto system itself, you're gaining in value. You're competing with the existing financial inflation. You're beating the inflation already by that experience I have seen from 12 years of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin that's been there. What's a SAP address? You address it already. It's an SLP address. SLP address you will find in most Bitcoin Cash wallets. Any phone specific to wallets as Bitcoin Cash will allow you it'll be as a section of assets or SLP tokens or you have said tokens itself. So just pick up the address from there and then you can post it here for your free SLPs, free INC tokens and ZAP tokens. Okay, so Mr. is this cleared about what is the Bharat Pay offering? Bharat Pay is offering up to 12% interest. Amazing, that's a big percentage in terms of interest because others are paying in single digits. Many of the local merchants store some of their money in which they receive from QR. Okay, so what is happening is I think Bharat Pay is a combined QR code for a lot of these wallets. You can still use one QR code, which is Bharat Pay. They are giving you an option of storing some of the money that's coming into your QR. That means the merchant's receiving INR. Some of the part of the INR you can store and get interest out of it. That's great. That's the savings part of it, right? That's exactly how Indian economy is. Indian economy depends on savings. We are a big savers. When you compare the rest of the world, I'm always comparing to many countries in the West and talk about all this. Also because there is, I lived in England for 7 years. I can see there's a small change that's there. In England, people are not savers if you compare it to the way Indians are. So that option is a great option, I think, from India, that Indian government, that you can store some of that money into your QR. Yeah, it's exactly like how InstaCrypto is also allowing merchants to use. Once you are used to the merchants accepting cryptocurrency from their users, eventually we are giving them an option and teaching them options to store some of their crypto into their own wallets so that they can understand the fluctuation of it and then gain with the gains that crypto will get. Not necessarily every time the crypto has to fall, crypto falls less than it gains in value. We know that for sure because in the last 12 years it's gained 50,000x on Bitcoin alone. So that means all the crypto, including Ethereum, including Bitcoin Cash, it's all gained in value definitely. So may it be at the short period you may have lost some because it fluctuates every day randomly. But in a long-term basis, definitely crypto has gained. So we are also allowing, definitely like the way the Indian government or Indians are, savers group, right? We are. So let's just get those kind of things also in place so that people can experience and learn and also gain from the crypto gains that's going to get. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the question that we've addressed, all of it. So anyone else wants to talk about it a little bit more in any topic that we spoke about all this time? I was just checking my Meetup also, so that because my Meetup, usually people come with some questions and ask questions there. So far, this Google Meet is been great, very nicely managed. The previous time when I used Google Hangout, I had one small issue that if anybody has a disturbing mic, until unless they themselves put it on mute, it was hard for a moderator to put them on mute. But yeah, Google Meet is improved version. It's just nice. I think we may continue to use this for future meetings. So yeah, I think our main topics was that development part of the crypto, including that is with SLP, and anything to do with your merchant adoption. Also, we spoke quite a bit. So we've got another 5 minutes more to go. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. And in 5 minutes we can call it a day. So I think, Mr. You're the only person who sent us your SLP.
I've sent this app to.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, got it. Thanks.
We will do the...
Yeah, the awesome part about Bitcoin Cash is he already received it.
Yes, I got it.
So, Mr. I think you're on our INC community group also, right?
Yes, Vikram, I am there.
Okay, so let me just forward you that from the group.
Oh, sure.
Because the tab that I'm working on for the video is then I have to copy to my email and then forward it from my email. But since you're already there, I will forward it to you on that,
Okay.
as promised.
Yeah, I want to work on scanning addresses directly on Zapit.
Okay,
Like
so
not
that's,
QR codes, like direct address, right? So through an AI, you can do that.
oh yeah, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are able to scan right now on Zapit QR codes.
No, what I meant was I want to work on that. So yeah, right now we can just scan QR codes, right? So
Totally,
if somebody
totally.
posts the QR code, they can send. But what if somebody sends an address in text? No wallet can actually scan that and say, okay, this is an address.
You're right, yes. So you can build that on Zapit?
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing that.
I've never seen it also because since you said you've seen it and it's there, I had
No,
not
it's
seen
not there.
that.
That's what I'm saying. No wallet does that. But I know that technology exists.
Okay, so
No wallet does
you know that the technology is there. So what it says here, simple ledger.qzv.
Yeah, so that's one of the identifiers, right? So all simple ledger address will have the simple ledger prefix.
Okay.
So it will always start with simple ledger, then colon, and then the address. So that's one
Okay,
of
so it
the
makes it
things
even
that
easier because it
easier,
reads
yeah.
the. Okay. Oh, amazing! Yeah, once that's there,
Same with
like
Bitcoin
this
Cash.
part of it.
Same with Bitcoin Cash. All Bitcoin Cash address starts with Bitcoin Cash, which clearly says that, yeah, this is a Bitcoin Cash address. But if you
True
go
that.
check any other like Litecoin, Bitcoin, Doge, all of them have the same address format. It's hard to find out which address that you want to send to if somebody sends an address.
Okay, okay. But in my Coinomi wallet, I've used extensively. There, the Bitcoin Cash is still just starting with like how the Bitcoin starts with.
I guess they're not keeping up with the technology. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. So for that reason, I have seen what happens because of that. Just after I feed in, then when I go to next, it just gives me an options. Now the options are many. It because the way that format started similar to Bitcoin, Doge, and Bitcoin Gold, all of them are similar. It gives me an option now. It says select which one you were trying to pay. Then I have to again select saying that this is a Bitcoin Cash address. Then I select Bitcoin Cash. Then it works. So because the
Wait,
address
so-
formats is yeah.
You go to Bitcoin Cash and then send and then paste, and then it still asks you which coin you want to send to.
No, this is when I straight away add the address. So when I add the address, it wants to reconfirm, is it going to be Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin Gold or Bitcoin? Because some addresses are the older address, which works on for
Legacy
both, right? All three legacy addresses. So in those, it does ask, but in some of the addresses, it doesn't because then the new versions are clearly different for Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. So then it doesn't.
Yeah. I guess those things will make the wallet special. Of course, it may not be perfect, but as long as it's able to kind of detect it, it's fine.
Oh, amazing! You just addressed the same issue that I had. Like I can see it on my messaging, but I cannot scan that because of QR
That's
code.
why I said it.
Super.
Because a lot of people will face that.
Yeah, of course. Well, of course, if I had that already on my Zapit, I could have just done it. I wouldn't have even. Yeah.
It may take time. I'm not sure when I'll start it because I'm not, I've never really worked with AI. So
True. So hopefully we will have that soon. Great stuff. I think it's just us four remaining. So it was a good meeting. It's already 6 o'clock now. So let's
yeah,
call
were
it
there
a
a
day.
lot of people? Like I think I came late. I was kind of busy.
Yes, there were a few, up to 10 I think we had, but they were like floating. They were not necessarily consistently staying. Nishchay was
I
staying
think
for
we can
long.
do something to increase the users. Like, is there a limit? How many people can come on this?
I don't know about the limit on Google Meet. There may be higher limit. I have seen, I have had people up to 30 people on the meetup. It just becomes a little hard to manage and to get everybody's questions across. In the smaller group, it's a nice, in-person meeting. I'm fine till 20 people. I'm sure
that's what
this will hold.
I was like, maybe we can aim for like 20 consistently. Like,
Sure. I actually posted in on other meetups, other Telegram groups also, just so that we get in people because a lot of people have RSVP'd on the meetup.com, but necessarily they will not be the ones who will join us at the time when I start the meeting because they could be doing something. They usually sometimes miss the email. But yeah,
maybe once we start giving out these gifts, they'll start coming.
True that, and I think like you said, we should definitely work on that QR code. I'll keep those QR codes ready and then.
Yeah, the feature is ready, right? I'm thinking whether to build the creation part of it because there is no other, way you can like there's no service or website or app that kind of does that. Since Zapit would be the first wallet.
To create those coupons, right? Gift voucher
Yeah,
coupons.
so I'm thinking like, should we do it manually, like from our end, or maybe I'll just figure out a way to do it with gifts.bitcoin.com, right? So you
Sure.
have a small amount you send a small amount to gifts.bitcoin.com, and then you scan the same QR code to send the token as well. So we know that the
Okay.
BCH part works, right?
Yes,
So
BCH
send
is there, but yeah.
Oh, maybe that may not work.
Specific for SLP you're making right now.
Yeah, so since they have this something called BIP70, right? The BitPay one, they use that. So it's kind of hard to send SLP to that, which is a really bad feature. These are some things that I don't like about the BIP70, right? So when you go to create gifts.bitcoin.com, when you try to create a gift, you have to send money to that, right? To that address.
Yes.
They use BIP70 for that. So if they used a plain QR code for address, you could actually send SLP to that and withdraw SLP back as well.
Ah.
But they don't do that. They do it through BIP70. Yeah, so you can't
Okay,
send
okay.
SLP to BIP70. So
Sure, I think because of the limitations of BIP70, the way BitPay came out of it, maybe this will also happen soon, and then people will just open any kind of QR code, like simple QR code, so that people can.
maybe we can have it on infrastructure. I'm not sure whether you would want to do that.
Yeah, definitely, you should do it. We can talk on that.
Gifts.crypto.com.
You guys talk so much of technology, man. I feel left out.
Dude, if you're feeling left out, think about others. Poor thing, that's why they always left out.
Yeah.
No, it happens. It's a little. In my meetups, I've come across this. Some people ask me a question which is a little bit more in depth about crypto technology. And when we are talking, many people come in beginner stage, right? They kind of like feel left out and they kind of leave.
Yeah.
This is one of the drawbacks of this meetup. You get mix of
Exactly, yeah. Right.
So
Well, which
the more
part do you
the
feel left out?
better,
Like,
I guess.
which part did you get left out, Vasim?
Give me your number. I'll come up and discuss. We remember last time we discussed. You have to help me a little bit on the blockchain concepts.
Yes.
Yeah, give me the number. I'll write it down.
Are you on Telegram, Vasim?
I am not on Telegram.
Can you create a WhatsApp group?
I was about to ask you that. We should do that on WhatsApp.
Yeah, I have a group. I think I was about to make, but Romit was not very constant. Are you going to be there, Romit?
Yeah, I'm on WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay. So I can create that. I'll do it.
So yeah, maybe
That is
anyone, right? Anyone who wants to join in like this, maybe we can have a meetup group itself on WhatsApp. So those who are really interested can join that group, right?
Okay.
We can do that. Let us
That talks what you guys are having, right? I mean, in the meetup.
Yeah.
Try and bring in as much as a layman's terms and layman's perspective, because I don't think much of the conversation what you have or having is being understood by others. That will leave them very insecure and they just don't come back again, right? The interest is lost there. So a real-time application, some kind of this thing you have to create. And second thing is you need to properly define what is the agenda you're going to have and what you're going to cover in that time, right? That's something we should look at doing.
True that, actually. Very clearly, the agenda we're trying to bring in as smaller and smaller possible, so that we don't like have everything about crypto that we're talking about. But when people come in, they come in with all kind of knowledge they need about crypto. So they kind of ask basic questions. If you see the message board also, even though we have about merchant and Bitcoin Cash only, it's just about the basic one here is how safe is crypto now. That's like, basic question. People come in, what the problem is, I think with 5 minutes of knowing crypto also people will join here, but that may not be enough. Some people would have done about 50 days worth of research. For them, they may know a little bit better. I guess we'll have to accommodate that in the beginning. Maybe hopefully soon we can specifically address just that meetup agenda. We do that.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
maybe we can work on that. Maybe like an hour before you're starting the meetup, we can discuss about that.
true. Like we join in before, and then we get that. That's what's happening in Tokyo Meetup, right? They join in an hour before, and then they open doors to everybody. We should do that too. Maybe in future we'll do that.
Yeah, and prepare the gifts and all that by the time.
Oh
Then
yeah,
we can open it up.
yeah. I think then we can do specific to SLP. I've not done specific to SLP.
Yeah, we can
That's
do that actually.
if you do specific to SLP,
So
it'll
the thing is,
automatically.
right now it doesn't work. Right now the update is not live on Zapit, so there is no wallet that can get those gifts, claim those gifts.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe yeah, I think we will have the update soon. So after that we can do it.
Sure. And if they want to sweep it also, they can download Zapit and then sweep it themselves.
Yes. So maybe yeah, we will call it like claim or withdraw gifts
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
sweep.
Bitcoin.com wallet worked. That
It works only for BCH. It only works for Bitcoin Cash, not for the tokens.
Okay, in Bitcoin.com also, it's only for BCH, not
Yeah,
for
so
the.
if you try to sweep the tokens, what will happen is you'll burn those tokens because it does not recognize that it has the tokens. What it'll do is it'll try to basically take the BCH that is there with that token.
Okay,
Right?
so
So
just
what will
like
happen
the
is it'll end
binary
up burning
satoshi.
the token. Yeah, it'll just take those tokens. It'll burn those tokens at that point. Yeah. So
and
we
just
have to
get
be
that
very
500
careful when
satoshi.
we recommend tokens for which purpose,
Got it.
since
Got
it's
it.
early and all that. Yeah.
Got it. So if not anything, if they just get that little burnt token with BCH S Satoshis.
Yeah, but if you're telling that hey, you will get INC token and they get PCH.
Yeah, I get it. But tell me about this tokens, so Satoshis that gets embedded in each SLP transfer. Does that particular SLP BCH Satoshis come from my wallet when I'm sending it?
Yes. Anyone makes a transfer, you have to add that the Bitcoin Cash to the token and send.
Okay, so not just the fee plus this.
Yes. So it'll always be slightly higher than a regular Bitcoin Cash transaction.
It's because of
The
this
total
extra
amount that you're
Satoshis.
sending. Yeah. So the fee plus 546 Satoshis basically.
Okay. So is this 546 going to be constant or
Yes,
it changes?
it's always constant. So it depends on how many people you're sending to, right? So if it's always the one person that you're sending to, it's always 546.
Okay.
If you're sending to multiple people, then for each person it's 546 into how many people you're sending the transactions to.
Into how many UTXOs?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the difference that's there, Wasim. I think we didn't address that when somebody asked me about SLP. So this SLP token is riding on the Bitcoin Cash protocol, which is Bitcoin Cash blockchain. The Ethereum token or ERC tokens are riding on Ethereum. So when I send you Ethereum token, ERC token, it takes the fee from Ethereum. I should have Ethereum also in my wallet. That's a 5% But every time when I send the ERC token, it need not have any extra Ethereum in it. But with SLP, when I send an SLP token to you, it also has this 500 BCH Satoshis, Bitcoin Cash Satoshis in it. So that means if the token is not useful to you, you want to burn the token, you can burn it and take the Bitcoin Cash Satoshis from it and use Bitcoin Cash. So anyway, that's one of the
So
small
I think
differences.
there is a browser called Brave which is giving those tokens. Have you seen
Yes.
that? Brave? Yeah.
Yeah. I've not used it myself, but I've heard it many times.
Yeah, I earned like $15 from it till now, which is crazy, right?
I have it on my laptop, the personal laptop actually, and I am
So
actually using it
the
now.
thing is, you can actually choose how many ads you want to see